And this week, after Australia's Champions Trophy exit in the semi-finals of the tournament, the former Australian captain announced his retirement from 50-over cricket. Mark Taylor, it was wonderful to look through all of those images of his career in the white ball game. He looks so young back in the day. It shows how long he's been around. But where does he sit among the greats of the game?
Oh, where does he sit? Right amongst them, no doubt about it. It was interesting. I'm not surprised to hear that announcement during the week. Bear in mind, the next World Cup of cricket, that is 2.5 years away. So he doesn't necessarily feel he's going to be around for that long. It's interesting, look at that top figure there, 170 caps. That's the interesting thing to me from Steve Smith. He's been around for ages and played, and I say only 170 games. You compare that to Ricky Ponting, who played 374 one-day internationals for Australia. Steve Waugh, 325. Mark Waugh, Gilchrist, all these guys played 200 plus. Steve Smith only 170, and that shows you the rise of T20 cricket. Now we're playing less one-day games. There's still the World Cup, which is very important. As I said a moment ago, it was 2 years away. But there's a lot. There'll be a few games between now and then that Steve Smith is now saying, I don't want to play them. I want to focus on Test match cricket. He's played 116 of those. He'll play next summer. I'm not sure how long he'll play after that. So this might be the beginning of the end of Steve Smith, but he, in my mind, is certainly one of the greats certainly a great of this generation and a great of this century, no doubt about that.
You say this could be the beginning of the end. It could be the start of his farewell tour. What do you think that journey looks like for him?
Well, as I said, he's now freed himself up for next summer, or this summer, which is the Ashes against the Poms. This will be a terrific summer this year. And he'll be looking forward to that. He's made 4 Test hundreds in his last 5 tests. So he's been back in the sort of form that we're used to seeing smudge in. He'll want that to continue, obviously, into next summer and hopefully have a really good Ashes series. And if he does, he may go on. He also may say, that will do me, because he needs a challenge, Steve Smith. He opened the batting in Test cricket not long ago because he wanted a challenge. He's now got 10,000 Test runs. I think he's part owner of one of the major league cricket sides in the US. He's got a house in New York. So he might be heading there very, very shortly. Hopefully, from an Australian Test point of view, it's not that shortly, because I love having him around because he's such a well-rounded cricketer, bat, ball and in the field.
Yeah, that was a nice reminder, those highlights, wasn't it, Tubby, that that young leg spinner ended up being not a bad batsman as well. I suppose that's the larger question now for the Australian cricket team. What does this team look like to the Ashes and beyond? What other faces perhaps won't be there, and who's to come in? Well,
we've got a few changes coming up. There's no doubt about that. You know, we talked about Usman Khawaja at the top of the order. He's 38. He'll be 39, I think, in December. Steve Smith, I just talked about him. You've got people like Mitchell Starc. Now, Nathan Lyon tells me he's going to be around for the Ashes in England in 2027, so he wants to keep playing. But Nathan's 36, I think. And even Scott Boland is now in his early 30s, so he may or may not be around for much longer after this summer. So there will certainly be some change, I think, in the Australian cricket side post next summer. Once the Ashes are done, and hope Pat Cummins and the Aussies will hope that status quo remains and we win that series and we go on. But after that, I think you're going to see some change.
Where does Sam Constas fit into all of this? And how do you rate him?
At the moment, he's in limbo, isn't he, a bit, Sam Constas? And he's not really sure exactly how he wants to play. I saw his dismissals in a recent Shield game against Victoria, where he's out charging or trying to swipe Scott Boland over the leg side out in the first over almost. In the second innings, out in a more conventional way. I think he's not sure where he should play, how he should play. I'd be saying to Sam Constas, how did you get to the Australian cricket side? He got there playing orthodox cricket. Go back and play that. Die by the way, or live by the way that you play. And he doesn't play like he did on Boxing Day last summer. That's not how he plays. He's a much better player than that, and that's what I'd be saying to Sam Constas.